right, Nick, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers here for a second. This was a big time win for the Steelers. We made a video last week talking about how this controlled their destiny in the AFC North. They went out, and I think the story of today's game was they did what they needed to do to win. Now, we'll say the offense, not stellar. There still is a lot of work to do there. Defense, absolutely phenomenal. The defense did very, very good. But I think overall there were some bright spots on both sides of the ball and a lot of good we can take away from this game. So Steelers fans, in the comments below, let us know who your MVP of today's game is in the comments below. There's a lot of great answers out there, but let us know who your MVP of the game today is. But Nick, let's get on into it and talk about this big time Steelers win. I think led on offense on the back of George Pickens. This guy said, hey, give me the ball and I will get it done. 130 yards and a touchdown receiving, 16 yards on one big-time rush. This guy just did it all today, and I think he looks like the superstar that we thought he was going to be finally on a very good Ravens defense. So I think that's one thing we take away here is that this is a Steelers team who went up against one of the best defenses in the league, and they got it done. They did enough offensively to win, but their defense also was very, very impressive as well, getting some key turnovers, some key forced fumbles, key pick at the end of the game to pretty much cement the win for them. I don't think they win if Lamar Jackson's able to score or even get a field goal on that play there. That was a key moment for them as well. The young rookie Joey Porter Jr. doing big things right there in the big moment. But Nick, I think this game just overall is showing that the Steelers have definitely a championship caliber defense. They can play really great defense. They have great players on the offense. I think there's a guy that really stood out to you today as well. But I think this team, there's just a few changes they need to make, and I think we all know what that is, and it's offensive play calling. They just need more spark. But Nick, what'd you think about this game?
Yeah, so obviously I don't think Matt Canada is going away anytime soon. As much as Steelers fans and fans of good offensive football would probably want Matt Canada to go away, I don't think that's just going to happen. That just doesn't seem to be the way the Steelers are heading. But there's one thing that jumped out at me, and I think the Steelers found something, and we saw in their last two pivotal drives, driving for a field goal, and then eventually what would end up being the game-winning touchdown, is Pickens is outstanding. We know he's phenomenal. We know he's great. But the guy who's going to stir the drink for this offense is Jaylen Warren. He is the guy, especially in big moments, who turned 4 or 5 yard runs, 4 and 5 yard catches into 12-yard runs, into 12, 15, 20-yard catches. That is what the offense has been missing. If you do not have a creative play caller, a guy who can just scheme big plays, you need to have a guy who can work underneath, whether it's a running back, whether it's a slot wide receiver, whether it's a tight end, however different offenses go different ways with it. But if you can have a running back that can turn 2-yard runs into 6, 7-yard runs, can turn a short pass into a 20-yard catch and run, a guy who has that speed sweep late in the fourth quarter, it's going to be a 3 or 4-yard run, hurdles a guy, lowers his head, ends up getting 12, 13. That's a way you can move past those scheme issues, right? Because if you have a guy that's schemed open at 12, but you don't have an offensive coordinator that can get that scheme, then you have to have a guy who makes that play and makes a lesser play into that kind of play. And that's what we saw from Warren. I really think they found something, and credit to Matt Canada. I know those words are going to get all kind of hate on me from Steelers Nation right now, but if you look at the final two series, right, the 16 offensive plays, Jaylen Warren had 6 of those touches, more than any other player, more than Pickens, more than Robinson, more than Najee Harris, right? He was the guy with the game on the line. And I think Canada recognized this, that Pickens was getting a lot of attention. And when it was one-on-one, they deliberately went to him. So again, credit to Pickett and Canada for recognizing it. The big third down, and then of course the big touchdown that put him over the top, for recognizing that one-on-one situations, go to Pickens. Everything else worked to Warren. He's the guy that can make this offense go. And I think if they go with that going forward, this offense, even with the Canada issues, can do just enough, because like you alluded to, Miles, they do have a playoff caliber, or frankly, maybe even a championship defense.
Yeah, Nick, and I think the thing about Warren is this is a guy everyone questions. It's like the Tony Pollard, Zeke Elliott type deal. Can he run through contact? Can he do all those kind of things? He did great today. He had great run after contact. There's that one play where he stuck his arm to the ground and kept going for like another 10 yards or so. He's absolutely a hard runner today, and his stat sheet doesn't show how good he was. He obviously caught the 3 passes, so we know he can catch the ball out of the backfield really well and do very good things there. But one of his bigger runs of the day got called back by a penalty, so that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. That's not his fault. but I think he is the guy, as you said. I think he's showing that we all know, we talk about this all the time. You don't want to pay running backs, especially Najee Harris. He's not producing the way you'd want to pay for a top tier running back. So I think you end up moving off him, but I feel really good if I'm Pittsburgh and I have Jaylen Warren coming up through the ranks. I think this is a guy, like you said, you can run the offense through him if you're not going to be creative on the play calling side of things. And the other thing I think the Steelers need to do to help this team out, you got to get rid of Gunnar Olszewski, or however you say that guy's name. It doesn't even matter because I hope he's not on the team. He loses the receiving receiving duties, comes back to the punt return team, gets another opportunity, and then blows it once again, critically almost losing them the game. Thankfully, the defense able to come out on top and make that big time play. So I think, special team giveth, they block the punt for a safety. The special teams almost take it away, get rid of that aspect of the team as well. Because I think this, like you said, this is a really solid Pittsburgh team.
Yeah, I want to go back to the offense, though, because I think you brought up a great point about the special teams. Olszewski was a debacle. Get rid of him forever. I know you've got some great playmakers. I know Calvin Austin looks like he could be a potential game breaker guy, and I love Calvin Austin. Darnell Washington looks like just a matchup nightmare as a beast, as a tight end. And I know you still have Najee Harris. Oh, we got to design someplace for Najee Harris. But Troy Aikman once said this about his team with the Dallas Cowboys in the early to mid 1990s. He says their offensive scheme was so simple. They ran the ball with Emmitt Smith. They threw the ball to Michael Irvin on third down, and they would take one shot to Alvin Harper every once in a while for a big play. He says it was the simplest offense in the world, and they won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years because they had the talent to execute off of it. I think the Steelers have the talent. It's pretty simple. I think you have a guy like Jaylen Warren, give him as many touches as possible because he can turn those 2 or 3 yard plays into 5, 6, 7+ yard plays. You have Pickens. When the one-on-one opportunities are there, you take it. And in third down situations, you've got Allen Robinson, a guy who can move the chains. I don't think they have to be complicated. I don't think they need something, especially this year. I'll say this year, right? Long-term, obviously, it's a different strategy. But I think for the short term, and for my short term, again, I mean this year, and we saw it in the fourth quarter, if you just stick to that plan, feed Warren, when one-on-one opportunities are there, go to Pickens, and you have Robinson in some key third down situations if necessary. If that is your offense, you may win the AFC North. You're in the first place in the AFC North. Think about that, Pittsburgh fans. After everything that has gone horrifically wrong on the offensive side of the ball this season, you are, if the playoffs started today, the division winner. Think about that. And that's because of the fourth quarter at home against Baltimore today, when you stuck to that simple game plan I just laid out. Give the ball to Warren. When Pickens is one-on-one, throw it to him every single time. And if you need a guy on third downs, go to Allen Robinson. That's it. That's all it has to be. Darnell Washington is great. Austin is great. Great futures in front of him. For now, ignore them. Keep it simple, and you'll win a lot of football games. And today was a great example of that.